Okay, folks, hang on to your hats. If you want to have an online business, now this is one video that you don't want to miss today. We've got something to help literally every business communicate better and at a mass scale. It doesn't matter if you're into online sales, e-commerce, or if you have online product sales funnels, website selling a service, or software as a service. This even works for courses, coaching, e-learning, lead generation and management, local marketing, content marketing and publishing, even straight up bloggers and content publishing. In fact, you don't even need a website. The future is now, and we already know how much better chatbots manage businesses. But one bot is for sure opening up channels of communications that many don't do yet. Okay, and I'm talking about multilingual translatable chatbots so that every international business or every local business, like in the United States, there's all types of different language speaking peoples here, that you can serve the globe better, you can serve all the communities in your country better, and even local businesses can serve their multi-ethnic local markets better. Now, with me today is a really smart dude, and I might add a really nice guy. He's the developer of today's focus product called Chatterpal. And aside from the multilingual abilities, his team has done a lot more to help your business, and I do mean all of your businesses. So welcome, Paul, and thank you for taking time out of your busy day. I know that you're preparing to bring this monster to the world, so time is short. I get that, and I'm going to be respectful of your time, but our viewers are sure going to love what you've built here. And again, welcome, and please tell us how you came up with the idea to build all of these groundbreaking chatbot features.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you for having me on, Nick. So the Chatterpal app was in development for over 3 years. Their thinking was, when you're trying to build something revolutionary that nobody else has even thought about, so it's not even an app where we thought, okay, there was this app and we'll improve it by adding 2 extra features. It was actually a complete quantum leap with what we've done before. And this makes it much more unique because there's some features we have to develop from scratch and test it on our own, and we have to actually go through that trial and error. So it took us 3 years to get to this level. We've actually created a couple of apps before which had a couple of features like this one, and then we had to get the feedback from tens of thousands of customers of ours, and then reiterate it and then get to this level. Because to get some technology like this, there's no comparison. Even if your audience wanna go buy it for $10,000, there's no company which can create something like what we're trying to do here for any price, and that's what makes it unique. And what happened was when we got into development, we said, let's put the cost aside and everything. Let's go create something that nobody has taught before, but also something that's going to get people results. So what we've done in terms of Chatterpal is, yes, it has some industry-leading features, and I'm going to talk about it in just a bit. But just to give you a glimpse, what we are actually trying to achieve is to make every website, and including website or offer, even if you don't own a website, every little offer that you're trying to present get more sales or more leads or ultimately better results, right? And the way we do it is by actually reducing the bounce rates, increasing the attention of your audience, right? With so many distractions out there, right? For example, if somebody has a phone on, they have Instagram, WhatsApp, I think text messaging right now, they have Facebook, and everything is ringing across the board. So when they come into a website, majority of the time these days, folks come in from Facebook or some Google ad, or they come in from all these other sources out there, and or they just search for you on YouTube or Google or Facebook, and they come into your website, and then they don't know much about you. They don't know your brand and so on. And the bounce rates are incredibly high for every website out there right now. We're talking 90% or more. And what we're trying to do is eliminate a large portion of that.
So yeah, Paul, everybody spends a lot of effort and they take a lot of time to drive traffic to their website, whether they're driving it via YouTube or they're driving it via Facebook. And many people spend a lot of money driving traffic to the website. But unfortunately, that traffic is usually wasted because people bounce off websites to the tune of 70 to 80% of people who visit a website don't stay for very long. And I know that with these avatars that you're using with Chatterpal, it's keeping people more engaged and keeping them on their site. And of course, if people are on your site longer, they're going to be more likely to get your full message and they're going to be more likely to convert. So can you show us a little bit more about these avatars and the branding and how you can get people more engaged rather than just having a standard little chat bubble with some text in it?
Yeah, I think the number one thing a lot of people should realize is in terms of a website, you cannot use what was already being done by everybody else, right? With Chatterpal, you get the ability to have 3D avatars into the mix, or you can put yourself on your own websites or in other affiliate websites or offline businesses and so on. And that changes the game because what Chatterpal can do, no other app in the market can do for any price. So you can't even buy it if you wanted to pay 2,000, 3,000, or $10,000 either. A lot of businesses, right? Whether it's your own business, the folks who are watching this video, their businesses, or even for that matter, offline businesses, they get maybe 200 visitors, 300 visitors a day, sometimes 100 visitors a day. So every visitor counts at that point, right? And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of businesses out there spend money on advertising. So a click for a business, for example, a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon or a restaurant, for certain industries, a lawyer and so on, they pay $5, $10 a click from Google or Facebook and so on to come to their website. So for them, every visitor counts. And what we are doing here is, if you see my screen right now, we have all these Chatterpals, which are 3D avatars. And the beauty here is that they're visual, right? When somebody comes in and they see an interactive avatar like this one, actually communicating, interacting with them. And the beauty is, by the way, we have the world's best text-to-speech integrated, which is lifelike, in multiple languages, which means you wanted to greet people in German, in French, in Spanish, or Portuguese, whatever, you can do that, and it's going to be beautiful. So you don't have to be in front of the camera. You don't have to pay a voiceover artist for that. And the other part is that we have built-in chat flows integrated as well, which means, so let's say somebody comes in and they wanted to subscribe to your email list, you can allow them to do that. Let's say they don't want to subscribe to your newsletter, but they wanted to find out more information on booking an appointment, or they wanted to find out more information on what kind of products or services you offer, or for that matter, they just want a discount coupon or your shipping policy or your return or refund policy or whatever it is. They, based on the information that they enter, they get sent over into different flows. And I'll show you that in just a bit. But the beauty is, unlike any chatbot app and so on, here we're visually connecting with our audiences. And with that visual connection, the bounce rates, meaning people who come into a website and leave, is significantly reduced. I mean, it's just incredible. And if you, I just want the folks who are watching this to imagine this, right? Let's say you get only 100 visitors a day, just 100 visitors a day to your website. And from that, 90% of the folks are leaving, which is very common, by the way. It's a lot more than that, but 90% leave. They just leave the website, they land in and they leave. Now, if you can just make 5% more improvement with this, just 5, meaning from those 90, let's say 5 more people are staying on your website than ever before, those 5 people could be worth hundreds of dollars more in revenue for you than not doing this, which is huge. Clearly, one important thing that is very unique with Chatterpal is the ability to do something called logo mapping. And trust me on this, logo mapping is perhaps the greatest invention that anybody has ever done, not only in this marketplace, but anywhere else, because now you're adding branding to the equation for any business. And businesses love branding because it actually helps them sell their products and services. So I'll give you one example here real quick. This is one of my e-commerce websites. So let's say somebody lands in on a website like this, they see all these beautiful products and so on, but they want to know if there are any discounts available. They want to know if there's some stuff that they can do with in relation to this in terms of getting discount coupons, or what's the shipping policy for this e-commerce website, or what is the return policy, or what are product selections and so on. So you just click, right, and so on, and then you'll see this. Watch this.
Hello, my name is Cami. Thank you for visiting our website. We are thrilled and excited to have you here. We value your time and would like to offer you a special coupon code to get an amazing discount. This coupon code is only available for a limited time, so take advantage right now and grab this special deal. Please take a moment to look around and explore. You are guaranteed to find some amazing, never seen before discounts, deals, and bonuses on this website. We are looking forward to working with you. See you on the inside.
And by the way, yes, that's amazing. I understand that. The beauty here is twofold. One is this part right here. If I put this line here, and if I actually highlight this even better, you'll see this part right here. It's the actual branding involved. And I'll show you in just a bit
Right,
how
I
to
saw
do
that,
this.
and it's moving with the bag as though it's actually part of the avatar. That was
Exactly.
pretty cool.
So imagine a business, like for example, an offline business, an e-commerce business, there are 500,000 Shopify stores alone, not including other platforms. There'll be millions of them. Now, a lot of these businesses, just for a logo, they'll pay anywhere between $500 or more, right? Just for a logo to be made. In this
Right.
case, you're actually putting that branding here, which means when somebody comes in, they will really think that this person, this business actually spent a huge amount of money to get a bag created like this with their branding. And it gives that feeling to the audience or that visitors or customers, wow, this is a high-end website. Well, why can't I just shop here? Because this has something unique that other websites that I've just bounced around doesn't have. And a big difference in terms of e-commerce websites here is that every single visitor that comes in, generally, they buy based on the brand and the feel of the website rather than the actual product itself. Because majority of the products in the case of e-commerce website, they're like $29, as you can see, $50, $17, and so on. That's the general things for funnels, e-commerce websites. That's the general pricing, because you're trying to shift a person, let's say, is seeing it in social media or advertising on YouTube, Google, Facebook. They come in searching for something or something unrelated, and they come into that website, and then they get bored or they just leave. Now you're trying to just convince them, hey, I'm something cool, pay attention to me, okay? And the beauty is it actually auto plays in pretty much majority of browsers except for Google Chrome. But the beauty with Google Chrome as well, as I showed you, you just press one button, it's already animating itself, just the audio won't be there. So just press one button and boom, it's gonna automatically work as well. So it's as good as auto playing itself. So again, it grabs people's attention. And as I said, scientifically, they've done research where if you can keep people just that 30 seconds longer, 1 minute longer, you're very highly likely to convert them into a customer, because now you're a unique attention grabbing mechanism or a website for them, as opposed to anything else where people just leave. And now you're grabbing attention. And today, with so much distractions, getting people's attention is the #1 thing that you can do to improve your conversions, your results, and even your branding, by the way. So that is it. Now, the other element here that is of importance, yeah, okay, the logo branding is great, the logo mapping feature. Yeah, you can put any logo here and automatically resize it, which is another cool thing, because a lot of people have this issue where they don't want to open up Photoshop. They don't want to go open up 100 different editing tools to resize a thing to fit perfectly. We automatically resize it, regardless how big the logo is. Don't worry about it. It's going to resize perfectly so it looks natural. And we did that. So you don't have to worry about opening up 10 different apps to edit that. The other great benefit is this chat element, right? The chat element is unique because of the fact that every element here on this screen, this part, can be customized, and it can basically change based on what people enter. So if I'm saying my name is Paul, I put, hey, what's your name? I put Paul, and I'm going to say whatever you wanted to say, and it's going to basically change the flow based on how you respond to the equation. And the beauty here is you can structure it. For example, if I want to get the special discount coupon and I press yes, and it's going to now take me to a different flow. Like imagine we're actually making it interactive based on what options people pick. You just change them over to a different part of where you want them to go, right? And here, as you see, what is your email address? We're just collecting their email address as well, right? So let's say I want to put my email address in here, and then boom, automatically we integrate with Zapier and all these other platforms. So any autoresponder is going to connect and automatically push that over. So you're set. You can send up funnels and so on. This is another beauty here. A lot of people don't realize, and I've been in this business for over 10 years now. The problem with opt-in forms and so on is the idea that somebody has to physically enter their name and email, and almost you're begging them to do it, right? But when somebody is actually in this flow, they're more likely to enter it because they're more thinking of it in terms of text messaging someone, right? So when you're text messaging them, you don't care what if you're typing in an email and so on, and they're more likely to actually subscribe here, which again increases your opt-ins, your subscribers, and so on. And the beauty is, again, not only are you taking another big problem I've seen as well with a lot of opt-in forms and so on is they make people subscribe and then immediately push them over to another page. And here you're not doing that. Again, you can continue the conversation even further, and maybe have them buy something without having them to leave to another page or go into another confirmation page or something like that, which is very, I think, problematic with people because they don't want to go to multiple steps. They want it easy. They want it right off the bat. They want something right now, right? So that's another great thing. And if you see here the emoticons and everything, these can be animated emoticons and so on as well. So we've added that as well to interact things more. You can add images, videos, whatever you want to put there, you can do that. Now I know some people was going to ask, Okay, Paul, that's great. That's awesome. I don't have a website. I mean, I don't have a website of my own. I don't have a product of my own. So how is that going to work for me? How is that going to benefit for me? So let's talk about that, because there's so many businesses out there. In the case of lawyers, plastic surgeons, restaurants, you can use this as well to do a lot of cool things. And I'll give you some examples here right off the bat. Just for example, right? And I'll go one by one. Without a website, one of the big things that you can do is do something called live link technology that is inbuilt within the Chatterpal. So what is a live link technology? Basically, what's happening is you can take any affiliate offer, right? I'm going to give you an affiliate offer example now, and I'm going to also show you some offline business examples. But let's say you don't own this website, but you want to get a commission. These pay commission between 50 to 75%, right? And this you can get from any marketplace like ClickBank or JVZoo, or there's so many other like Commission Junction and so on, whether it's physical products or whatever it is. And you just copy and paste the link into the app and automatically embed your Chatterpals on websites, even if you don't own those websites. So this is beautiful because you can immediately send traffic over from social media or elsewhere and collect subscribers this way, and then also make them buy, right? So this way you don't have to build a website and do all that. But the other benefit of that I think is a great value, a lot of people don't realize, is the ability where you can demo it to actual clients before you even go to them. Because see, a lot of people say, don't tell me, show me, right? When you go to a business like a restaurant saying, hey, I can create something that will improve your sales, get more people to join in into your establishment, come in for dinner, reservations, do more booking, or for that matter, if it's a dentist, chiropractor, we can get more appointments booked in. Let's say, how is that going to work? The best way to show it is in their own website, right? So this live link technology also allows you to do that. You just go in any website for that matter. As an example, I have this one, right? In the case, this is, I think, a dermatology website. I just go in, right click, copy this, and in one of the steps in Chatterpal, I just paste it, right, as the link to show, and then it can have it appear like you see here. As you say, dental services. And if I highlight this, and again, as I'm saying, I'll show you exactly how to build these campaigns in just a bit, but I wanted to quickly show you how it's going to appear. So as you can see here, this website, you don't have to own, you just show it for demonstration for your clients right off the bat, and then they'll see how it's going to appear on their website without you having to ask them for their details, information, technical mumbo jumbo stuff, which is going to take you weeks or days because most of the business owners are not technical. And you can do the same thing, by the way, for anybody who's doing digital marketing, where they're selling their own books, authors, digital marketers, product creators, and so on. Do the same thing for as a consultant. Let's say if it's your own website as a consultant or an agency, you can do that as well, where you can put it in your own website and start collecting subscribers, book more appointments. Maybe even if you want them to call you, right? You can set up meetings so that you can close more clients and so on. Now, I know the next question that's going to immediately come up is, Paul, that's all great, but how can we track this whole thing? Let's say I wanted to add more customizations to this. Let's say I wanted to, not use the ones you show me. What do I do? So in Chatterpal, we have all these avatars, by the way, with all kinds of different features. For example, you have male, female, we have different ethnicities. We also have animals, as you can see here. For some industries, that's also useful to have a mascot, right? We have that as well. And on top of that, we have other 3D avatars. You can see their options are literally limitless. And the beauty is, you see this option right here that you see called green screen. The green screen option means any website, you can make it your own by basically putting up any green screen video, a spokesperson video of your own, and then automatically making a pal out of it, or Chatterpal out of it in this case, meaning instead of having a 3D avatar, you can put your own example, your own actual face on there if you do. Because I know some folks out there want to do that, where they want to put a spokesperson video or their own video up there, and then automatically it's going to remove the green screen and put that up on pages as well. So that's another huge benefit, because a lot of people don't realize that when you do it the right way, you can automatically get more results than what you're getting right now. And the branding element of actually building your brand without having to basically put up with putting it up on YouTube and so on, and the transparent background that you're getting also adds to this effect to an extremely high level. And if you really go into in depth with the stuff,
greeting and exterior to any website.
So the idea of Chatterpal, and I think, Nick, you pointed out pretty great here, is you're trying to make more out of the exact audiences, traffic, and so on that you're already, even if it's only 20 visitors a day. The thing with chatbots, right, and this is something that I've been in business for over 10 years now, and I've seen it again and again, to get real results online, you actually have to have an unfair advantage over your competition. Meaning, if you're doing exactly what your competition is doing, then there's no differentiation between you and 10,000 other businesses out there, and you're not going to get the same results. Here, what we're doing, unlike any other chatbot app or Facebook chatbots and all that stuff that's come up over the last few years, is we're actually visually representing a business, a brand we're giving to it. And more importantly, when somebody lands in here, and it's been scientifically proven, I'm not making this up, it's actually scientifically been proven that the more time somebody spends on a website, they're more likely to buy from you, subscribe to your newsletter, and more importantly, take action, right? So what we're doing is we're having all these 3D avatars that you see here. I need to keep going on and on, by the way, and so on. And we also have more here, as you can see here, different businesses. For example, we want somebody who's, construction worker right here. We have those branded to those industries. Let's say you want somebody who's a chef, somebody who's like maybe a doctor, as you can see here to my bottom left, and so on. So they're branded to those as well in different ethnicities and so on. And we even have animal avatars, as you can see here. The beauty with all these is that the possibilities are limitless because you have unlimited websites that you can put these on. And just so people understand here, there's no compromises being done here, okay? So we are not just trying to save costs by saying, okay, these avatars, we're gonna put them up on YouTube or something cheap like that to save costs. We're actually hosting all these. We're actually rendering the animation at the highest quality possible. So every visitor that gets on your websites, your businesses or offline businesses, or even an affiliate offer and so on, we're actually showing them live at the highest possible quality, and it costs us bandwidth to do that. And you're not charging any fees to do this. And just to give you an example, just with a previous app where we do not add any of these chat automation and all these logo mapping and so on, it costs us even today, right, $3,000 to $4,000 a month just with the hosting alone, not including the text-to-speech elements and so on that I'm talking about. And I'm okay to take that cost because I know when people get results, in the long run, they'll be a lifelong customer. So that is the actual focus here on how to think about it. And if folks wanted to build these on their own, these avatars real quick, if I wanted to tell you, we actually have to get an animator to build these from scratch. So you have full licensing, okay? So you're not buying them from some website out there and putting them out there, because I don't want an issue where, the viewers here watching it who are gonna buy this and then put it up on an offline business's website, and then they get an issue because the licensing is a problem because we got it from some website paying them $500 or something. Each of these were built from scratch by a professional animator in our whole team. And they spent, it costs us a couple of weeks to 4 weeks to build one of these. Costs about $2,000 to $3,000 just the cost alone, not including the effort putting and all that stuff. And that is the kind of quality we're looking here. And you're looking at what, dozens and dozens of these in different industries. So there were no compromises or shortcuts taken here, okay? That's the number one thing I want to mention here. So in the case, let's say we want to put this up on an e-commerce website, right off the bat, I'll give you that example because it's a visual example I can show you, right? And an e-commerce website, I'll give you that visual example because a lot of offline business websites, they're kind of bland, so it'll not give you that real good example of showing how it would appear. So if I click this one, because she's holding a bag, and I'm going to talk about why the bag is not having anything on it, because that's where the logo mapping comes into play. And by the bag, I mean this one right here, this part right here is where you can actually do put any logo, any business's logo, your own business logo, whatever it is, and it's going to look as if that animator or whoever is building this actually took the time to take the logo in and make sure that it's resized perfectly for that bag and created it.
It looks like it's custom built for your business. And as everybody knows, any chance that you have to get your branded logo in front of your viewers, you should take it, okay? And when you have something that's captivating in motion that they're actually interacting with, and that thing has the logo on it, and it doesn't look like an afterthought, then you've got a winning combination, because now your brand is right there, whether it's in their conscious, and they're looking at it, or subconscious and their eyes are just picking it up. That is the key to branding, is getting it in there as many times as possible. So go ahead, Paul. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point, right? So when we choose this, for example, you just click next. It's very easy in terms of like step by step. Okay, you're not trying to do 100 different things. You just check the option, go to the next step, go to the next step. So it's so intuitive, anybody can do it. And if you're stuck at any point, right, you can go back into the previous step. So it's not like where you have to erase the thing, reopen a new project and all that stuff. If you make any mistakes, you can always go back and fix anything. And so there are three options here when we go in, right? So there's text to speech. Record your own audio, right? Meaning I can record it right off the fly, right? Right now I can put my mic, I can record it, and it's going to record it and automatically lip sync each avatar. Meaning when they're speaking, their lips pause, and the audio, for example, let's say my audio doesn't have anything going on, there's a pause there, the lips will pause as well. And all that is automatically done. It took us a lot of years to perfect that lip sync effect. And you can also upload your own audio.
It detects when you're speaking, and then the avatar's mouth goes to what you're saying, right?
So yeah, so imagine, let's say I'm saying, hey, my name is Paul, and I pause. So it's gonna say, and it's gonna move the lips perfectly aligned. And then when I stop, right, hi, my name is Paul, I am an entrepreneur, for example. Then it's gonna say, when that pause is there, it's not gonna speak. The lips are gonna be sealed. So it's gonna be as natural as literally speaking in person. So that's another effect because it doesn't look robotic, right? So that's something that's well integrated as well. And another thing a lot of people might want to do is, hey, I want to upload my own audio from a voiceover I'm buying on Fiverr, or my own voiceover I have already. I want to upload my own audio file. You can do that. I just click the upload file, and automatically, again, this will also be lip synced. But a lot of folks out there, they don't want to put their own audio or something like that. They want to use text to speech. This is the world's best text to speech engine out there. There's nothing better than this. By the way, just so you understand, every voice that you create costs us money. So for example, in the event, if you think about it, it costs us money. So if you're doing unlimited voiceovers, which is what we're giving you here, then you don't have to worry about it at all in terms of cost. We're going to eat that cost. Don't worry about it. Again, like I said, there's no shortcuts or compromises being taken here. And ultimately, on top of that as well, we have ready-made scripts as well, and for many businesses. So in case you're stuck, what do I write and so on, we have some ready-made scripts that you can load up, and you can adjust the speech, speed of the actual voice, the pitch of it, and so on. And there's different languages here, as you can see, which is awesome, because a lot of businesses, like Nick mentioned, in the US alone, there are a lot of Spanish speakers, right? Spanish, I think in the US alone, it's the highest number of Spanish speakers outside of, I believe, Mexico, if I'm correct. And that's how many Spanish speakers are out there right now as we speak, which is just incredible. And that's, again, what we are doing here is we're trying to attract different audiences. And one of the great things about our apps that we built previously as well, and this is actually based on our previous experiences, a lot of people out there are international folks out there these days, from Germany, from France, and from Brazil. Brazil has a Portuguese market. So you want to attract those audiences as well. You can immediately do that. There's this auto translate button. So let's say I paste, a script, right? I'll just copy and paste something, right? And I have this right here for an e-commerce website like this one. So I'll just say, hello, my name is, and I'm gonna choose English as a language. So let's say I'm gonna put Sally as the voice. So I'm just gonna put Sally here as the name, right? Just to match it, but you can put any name you want. It's up to you. And if you choose this auto translate option, automatically it's going to convert this text into any language that you choose. And on top of that, for that matter, you can also then choose, let's say it's converted over to Brazilian Portuguese, then you put Brazilian Portuguese as a language. You can choose the voices. You can even preview this one right here. And then that's going to make the avatar speak in that language, in this case, Brazilian Portuguese or Spanish, for example. We have different types of Spanish, US Spanish, that's Spanish from Spain, which is different. The dialects are very different, the way the accents are pronounced. So again, you have different voices there as well, male and female, by the way. So you have different options.
I've never seen someone go into that much detail. I know, British English and American English, and now you have different versions of Spanish. I mean, I've not seen that kind of detail in anything. That's
exactly
awesome.
And this is because we get about 15 to 20% of our customers are from Mexico, Colombia, from Brazil, from Germany, and so on. And so we cater to those as well, because I know a lot of folks like this feature, and we've integrated that as well. And we don't, again, because there's no limitations on how many voiceovers, text to speech that you can make out of this. There's no limitations on how many websites you can put on. You don't have to worry about it, because they're not going to be like, hey, only 10 of these you can create. No, it's not like that. You can create as much as your heart's desire, and don't worry about the cost of it. We'll take care of that. So in effect, that is the beauty here. You can create it in any language. And for now, obviously, I'm going to show it in English because we're trying to build it on an English website. And in the case, we're trying to create it for an e-commerce website. So we have some little written stuff here. Again, you can copy paste it from anywhere. You can write it however you want. We also have these ready-made scripts here. You can use those as well, depending on what industry you're trying to target. And then all you have to do is hit this import speech button. And then you have two options. Okay, then we have the play audio. This is just to, for example, preview it. Let's say if everything is going good, if you want it to be that way you want it. For example, sometimes maybe there's that extra pause that's happening, or it's too quickly, then you can adjust it again and again hit the import speech option, and then automatically creates that audio really quickly. In this case, it shows us 30 seconds. So I play it.
Hello.
It's going to play it.
Sally, and I'd like like to welcome.
So, and by the way, because we're in this situation, obviously the audio is not going to be perfect because it's coming from my speakers to my microphone. But
Right.
obviously, Nick is, and we're going to show you some demos of the actual voice, how it's going to appear in just a bit. But that should give you an idea. So all we have to do is go next, again, step by step. You don't have to do any extra thinking on your part, which is pretty cool. So that way you can quickly get these up and running. And the other part is the customization of the color. So for instance, let's say depending on the website's branding, right? Let's say you have a website, like this is the website I want to put it in. So let's say I want to put it in this website. What's the branding on this particular website? It's red and black is the color theme that's going here predominantly. So we can change it to match that particular color theme that is happening here. So in this case, red and black is sort of right here. I can obviously choose more of these. But I'll just choose red and black here to match it, sort of. And this is red and greenish, but you can choose more colors, obviously, up to you to match it. Now, here's the beauty here. Avatar's name is coming up here. I put the name in the voiceover as Sally, so I can change it over right here, and automatically it got changed over here. Now, the next part is, you see that typing animation, which is basically these dots that you see happening. So it looks that realistic look right here, as you can see my screen. So it gives you that realistic look, like somebody's actually typing rather than something robotic. And then we can just choose the logo. Now, what you can do, and this is what I'm doing, okay? I just went in here, I just got this, I went view image, right-clicked it, view image, and I just saved this logo right here. You can do whatever you want. For many websites, this is how it is, or you can even grab it from wherever. A lot of businesses give you this logo, right? And so you just do it. I saved it up in my computer. I just go browse, and boom, I get it right from my screen right here. I'm in my desktop right here. So let's see here. So this one right here is the actual logo. And boom. So it's going to automatically adjust itself, automatically resize itself like you see here. And of course, you can put any logo of your choice and it's going to automatically shrink itself, stretch itself, and so on based on that.
Right. It automatically made it transparent as well.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And
that's really cool, because I hate when I gotta bring it into Photoshop and then I've got to select the white and delete it and make it transparent and then save it out as a PNG. But you just did it all in like a quarter of a second.
Exactly. So it's pretty straightforward. And another thing is the other customization we have is the mirror avatar effect, meaning some folks, they might not want to put it in the bottom right. They want to put it in the center or to the left hand spot. And then we just click that mirror avatar right here, and automatically it's going to put that back to the right hand. You see that? So that again gives that effect where you can put it wherever you want it to appear on your website screen and so on. It gives more flexibility on what you want to do. And again, so that's another feature we have available. And so I'm going to remove it for now because we want to put it to the left for the. Then we have this chat flow. Okay. Now this is super powerful. This is where you have that flexibility of making people go based on the decisions that they make. And we already give you a lot of the templates already, and I'm going to walk you through some of them here. And so a lot of the templates in the chat flow are already built in. In this case, you can see appointment booking, conference registration, webinar registration, or if they're trying to exit a website.
The thing I like about the templates is creating your own chat flow when you're first starting out can be a little bit, there's a lot to it, right? But you got these pre-made templates for numerous different applications that you can then like almost instantly create this flow. And then any business can use this, any type of business. I mean, it could be for a restaurant, it could be for online sales, it could be for the local marketing companies, it could be for a plumber, it could be for a florist, whatever it is. You can use this to create these customer journeys that are user directed in order to answer questions or take them directly to content that they're interested in really fast using the chat. So the chat isn't just a gimmick, it's a tool that people can use and they'll get used to using it to get what they want faster. So go ahead, Paul.
Absolutely. And one other thing I want to point out here, which is super important for folks, is even if it just gets one extra customer for a business, like I said, there's so many businesses, lawyers, accountants, dentists, chiropractors, or even restaurants and so on. If you can just give them one extra client that they've never thought of before, for many of these businesses, that's $100, $500, or even $1,000 in revenue that they've never had before. And they will just love you for it because you've done something that just blew them away first, yes, but they got them actual results. And that's the best kind of service that we can provide somebody, where they can actually see the results on hand, but more importantly, they can actually feel it, where they can actually see the actual money rolling in, or that subscriber coming in, or that discount coupon entered in their website and so on. They can see the results right in front of their eyes. And that is a huge benefit here. A lot of times people get this feeling in their, oh, I need to get thousands of customers. I need to get 500 customers. You don't. A lot of these businesses get maybe 2, 3, or 4 good customers, and that's worth more than what they probably would have ever made in a quarter, right? If you get 4 clients for a dermatologist, that's worth 8 to 10 grand for them. For example, plastic surgeon, 15, 20,000.
I like the way you kind of turn it around. You know, most people would say, okay, we're converting at X%. So to make more money, what we need to do is we need to pay a lot of money to drive more traffic to our website. More traffic, more traffic. They don't think about the benefit of keeping people there, because now your audience is automatically growing, like you were saying earlier, with the traffic you've already got. So
absolutely.
This flow is pretty amazing. So
yeah, so in this case, I created a simple flow with one of the ready-made chats. Again, it can go super advanced as well, but just I want to show you something simple so you can understand how it's working out. So we have something where it says, welcome to our website, what's your name? And then we also then say, here are the services we offer, and here's some discounts and so on. So if I click this option, we can immediately edit every element, right? So in this case, welcome to our website, we can say, welcome to your website name, right? I'm gonna put my e-commerce name, right? And I can save that, and I can even put a emoticon here. We have animated ones as well, as you can see. And then I can, put, for example, this one right here, the smiley right here. And then we can say, we can edit any element here. My name is right here. And in this case, I want to match the name I put in. And here's the best part. A lot of people, they're afraid to be in front of the camera. Maybe your name is Bob, your name is Jessica, and you're afraid to name out there, but you want your own avatar to present your brand, or even for that matter, an offline business. Let's say her name is Dr. Robinson. Let's say Dr. Robinson wants to be up there. So you may not want to have a video up there, but you can present a branding for that, or the receptionist in her office, or whatever it is. So this is another great benefit here, without you having to, create some other personality that people are not that familiar with. And the beauty is, as you can see here, there are many options to the flow. So in this case, it was a question, meaning if the people answer that question, it then takes them to the next question, and so on and so forth. You can also, for example, put buttons like buy now or check out now, or whatever you want to do, right? And then you can send them over to a different page. You can put a URL. You can even put a picture here based on the responses that they give, or you can put a video here. So at certain times, what you want to do is you want to put a video where it explains more about your business, more about your product, and so on. So you can just click that video option, and you can upload a video, or you can put a YouTube or Vimeo URL, and automatically it's going to put that out there, embed it into the chat. And you can do all kinds of good stuff like yes, no answers, and like a lot of stuff. I could go on and on for days on this, but the flexibility is there, just so folks understand. And then you just click save. And then as you can see here, it says content cannot be empty because I chose the video. So I'll just deselect it and I click save right here. Okay. So we have that flow right now mapped out. And again, we can go into the next step and the next step and the next step, and we can add more action to the bottom. So if I just highlight this part right here, we have that add action here, meaning we can continue the flow even forward as well if we want to. Of course, it depends on business to business. Some people want to have a bigger flow, some people not. You have that option as well, which is beautiful because you are actually sending people to the pathway that folks want to go to, and will actually lead to a sale. Because a lot of times people have this feeling where, oh, I'm going to just put a chatbot on my website and I'm going to make it answer all kinds of gibberish, where somebody says, who are you? And it's going to say, my name is, robot. Who cares? They just want to, you should make your customer, it's your responsibility as a business owner, entrepreneur, marketer, to get people to go through a flow and then get them to a sale. Similar to when you put a funnel in place, you're making them go through step by step and getting revenue out of that funnel. The same process is right here. You're actually making them do the actions you need them to do. A lot of people don't know this, right? A lot of your visitors, your customers, they don't know anything about your business, and therefore they don't know what's the right kind of problems that your business can solve and so on. So by taking them here, they automatically can have their problem solved before even asking it, which saves a lot of time. And more importantly, that's that 24/7 chat agent that you're getting that can get you more sales leads and so on without you having to hire another person to answer your chat and so on. And that's not even feasible. And Nick, I just want to mention this part. A lot of people don't notice this. When you go in, I think a lot of people have done this before. You go in, you see a live chat on a website, even if it's a chatbot, right? You see that question where, okay, our support staff are busy or not available right now. They'll come back and answer your question. And then what happens to you? You're like, okay, so he's there, I'm out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of defeats the purpose. Like it defeats the purpose, right? Having a chatbot or something. And I've even seen it where the chatbot, or if they have an automated chatbot, it says all our live agents are busy and I am here to answer you. But in case we're gonna sign out soon, please enter your phone number or something. And then the problem becomes you're saying, okay, everybody's away. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to wait until somebody answers my question or and so on. So this eliminates that because we were setting the pre-existing flow. And that's the smartest thing that you can do because you're weeding out the people who wouldn't have bought anyways, right? You're weeding out and you're making people go through a channel that you want them to go through. And this is going to get you better results by far. And then the next option is we have positions of where you want to appear. We want it to appear in the left, middle, right. We can even offset it based on exactly the point where you want it, because some websites, they have unique graphics. You want it to specifically appear in this exact position. You can change that X and Y axes right here and change it exactly where you want it to appear in your website. We can even have it play once per visit, meaning automatically it's going to have a session and you don't want it to appear again and again and again. It's going to appear once and then it's going to go away. Another option is the blackout mode, which is another cool feature where automatically when the Chatterpal opens up, it'll automatically black out the entire screen. So the focus is just on that. And this is useful, for example, in certain situations. I personally feel when you're giving away gift coupons or you're doing some kind of viral campaign from Facebook and so on, you're sending them over to a page or an article or something viral, right? Some viral video and so on. It blocks out the video so then they can actually enter their email or they can take an action before they actually see it. So it's another good thing to capture people without boring them, which is what a lot of these locking mechanisms do, where you come in and you just locked out and there's nothing here. You're actually captivated by this animated avatar or your own, if you want your human avatar or an animal avatar, whatever you want it to have there, it's going to allow you to get better results. And another option here is the show mute button. This is if you want to have a mute button where if somebody is speaking and then you want to have that option to mute it, there's another, you can do that. And you can also have hide avatar after introduction, meaning after the introduction is done, the avatar is done, and now there's the chat window open just itself. That's another option for some businesses. It's valuable. And then start minimize is an option where certain industries, right, you have an auto playing video up. The last thing you want is that video playing and that avatar playing at the same time. It's a distraction. And so this, what it will do, it'll start minimized, meaning after the live video is done, or I mean, in this case, the auto playing video is done, or sales video or whatever is done, then they can automatically open it up and start the conversation. So we have that flexibility. So we thought through all this stuff based on experience over 3 years developing this. We've gone through a lot of customer requests and so on along the way, and beta testers and so on. And so we know these were the biggest features a lot of people asked for, and we already solved all that. And the last one you see here, start playback muted. This is, and also attention grabber animation. This is useful for Google Chrome browser. Nick, you probably already know, a lot of your users as well know, Google, YouTube and the Chrome browser itself, it blocked autoplay recently, right? And which means if you have a sales video or any kind of animation or any kind of video, that video will not autoplay anymore, and there's no way around it. Okay, you can't really figure out some kind of little trick and so on, because it's going to get patched over and it's going to not be a long-term solution. So what we're doing here is it's going to have an animation happening, right? And for them to hear the audio, they just have to click the play button. And that's how we've solved that Chrome feature. And the beauty with this is because the animation is playing, a lot of people will click on it and it will do. But if it's a Firefox browser and all the other browsers out there, you don't have to worry about this at all. It's going to autoplay itself. So we've solved that issue as well. And then you just have to choose these options, click next. And then we give it a campaign name. Pretty straightforward. This is the last step, as you can see. And let's just say I'm going to give it, in this case, e-commerce campaign. Okay. And then ask for an exit message. This is optional. Exit message is, let's say at the end, somebody finished the flow. What do you want them to do? So you can say something like, thank you, check out our products right now for, more, let's see here. Check out our products right now if you haven't already, right? Something like that. and then you can put emoticons if you wish. And as you can see here, we have as well this option of Facebook post, title, and description. This again was one of the biggest features our beta testers and folks who are using it in real businesses were asking was, Paul, you know, a business, they put up these Chatterpals out there and they want to, you know, send that information over with a live link. So for example, I created a Chatterpal on a dentist website, right? Or and let me show you an example here. So this is a dental services website. Let's say I created the Chatterpal, and I want to demo it for a business and share it on their social media, for example, as a Facebook message, or I'm communicating with them via Twitter or all these sources. The big problem is Facebook will so generally gibberish, like some code, like ahref or some nonsense, right? And so on, because it'll take precedence on what that website's code is first. So what that doesn't make any sense if you're sending it to a actual client as an example, or even sending traffic over to it. So this little nifty feature, what it will do is we can actually control what Facebook will display as the title and the description for this post when we share it on social media like Facebook and so on. So that's beautiful, because then you have control over what shows, and you don't want some gibberish to show up that doesn't get you conversions, right? So this is another great feature that you can use when sharing it on social media and so on. And finally, we have that instant, site domain name and so on. This is that live link technology I was telling you about. Let's say you don't have your own website, right? And let's say there's so many other businesses out there, right? I'm just gonna quickly, I'm gonna show you this example. Let's say we go to Google, and let's say we wanted to find a business, right? There's so many businesses out there, right? So I'm from Toronto, Canada. So I'm just gonna say dentist in Toronto, Canada, right? And there's so many of these businesses. Now you wanted to approach these businesses. There are many ways to do it. The best way is to show them real life how this would appear, right? So if I go in this one right here, this business right here, it's Royal York Dental, I believe. And so let's say you want a Chatterpal to appear right here on this website. We can actually copy and paste this actual URL in that section, and automatically it's going to embed the Chatterpal, and it's going to give us a URL that we can share. So these dentists will know exactly, these businesses, how it would appear in their business, right? Without you having to ask them for their FTP details and all that techie mumbo jumbo stuff. Just use the sale.
So if you're a local marketer, you can then direct them to it and say, hey, look what we can do.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Okay. So it's a demonstration to them before you even having to explain what you can do. And visually, people will actually get sold much more, because they can see, okay, this is my website. This is how it appears in my website. I get it, how it's going to get value. And that's the most powerful form of selling, right? You cannot convince somebody that something's valuable. They have to convince themselves that it's valuable. Then you can get that big ticket sales. And this is the best way to do it, where they can say, okay, I see the value here. And in this case, since I was showing an e-commerce example, you can put an e-commerce website as well, and it's going to do that same process that I was showing you. So let's do that. So I'm just going to use my e-commerce website example. There's so many of them. So let me get one of these that I have, I believe. So I think this is one of our clients' websites. Let's see. And then you can just click create, and then boom, that's it. You are done. So you can either create a graph, or we can just save it and create, and then it's going to start its process. Now this is a 3D animation that is happening, so it's going to take a few minutes, but about 5 to 10 minutes or so is what we are looking at, and then you're ready to go. And I'm going to show you an example of how it's going to appear here, so you can get an idea.
Welcome to
so it's going to be like this across any website.
Discount coupon you can use for free shipping and other amazing deals.
So let me actually close this, and I'll show you an example of a live website of mine having this. It's going to make much more sense. So let's see here.
Hello, my name is Cami. Thank you for visiting our website. We are thrilled and excited to have you here. We value your time and would like to offer you a special coupon code to get an amazing discount. This coupon code is only available for a limited time, so take advantage right now and grab this special deal. Please take a moment to look around and explore. You are guaranteed to find some amazing, never-seen-before discounts, deals, and bonuses on this website. We are looking forward to working with you. See you on the inside.
So pretty cool. So we can make things customized like that. It's visually attractive, like you see here, and you can make it all customized.
I like how the logo was actually moving with the bag, and it was skewing, and so it looked 3D. It didn't look like it looked like it was actually built that way.
Exactly. So even if that avatar is moving around left, right, and so on, it's going to move around to that differentiation. That's called logo mapping. As I said, it took us a long time to get to that technology, because it has to have so many variables involved there. And that's, again, really powerful, because, again, captivates people's attention and so on. So as you can see here, there's so many other options. It just took me what, a couple of minutes, even with explanations, to go through this entire process.
So I just want to say, you know, as a developer, I like how you can automatically capture that customer data, like the emails, the names, and basically any information they enter into the chat. So what kind of custom data do you find most useful to capture, and how many custom data types can you get?
So we integrated with Zapier, for example. So literally with Zapier, you're opening up options like webinar registration. So you can immediately, after somebody gives their email, register them into a GoToWebinar or GoToMeeting webinar, right? Or even for that matter, hundreds of other different webinar platforms out there, not just GoToWebinar. Or you wanted to invite them into getting their phone number, right? A lot of businesses out there, they want to collect the phone number of that person, so you can get name, phone number, and so on, and then get them over to another service which can automate your calling and so on. Or you want to book an appointment, you can automatically integrate, again, as I said, with Calendly and all these appointment booking systems out there, where automatically it's going to send over, book that appointment date, and so on. And the beauty is, actually, I didn't show you that option. We have advanced features where one of the features is you can actually create the calendar within the chat itself. So they can pick a date within the chat itself and say, okay, I want it on Thursday and this time at 3 p.m. Eastern. And that way, again, for dentists and so on, or offline business, it's super important, right? Because they need exact specific dates for appointment booking.
No, I love how it automates office work for things like, you know, the booking of appointments and stuff like that. That is awesome. For you could use it for coaching, you could use it for consulting, local business professionals. You can use it if you're a local marketer. You can market this to, you know, attorneys, or like you said, dentists. Basically, any in business where you want to offer consultations, client interviews, sales calls. You know, nothing makes a small business look big and a big business look even more massive, like solid onboarding and automating all that activity. And Chatterpal looks positioned to service these businesses very nicely. But can you talk about any specific examples of how that's benefited, you know, businesses, and any case studies or anything like that you might have?
Yeah, so one of the big things that we've noticed over the last 3 years, and I'm going to give you some of the hardest markets out there, because it's easy for me to just say, okay, somebody from this part of the world, like in our part, which is US, Canada, and so on, doing it. Some of our customers from Mexico, from Colombia, from Brazil, and all these countries where people are not very willing to spend money, right? It's not like most of these places don't even have a merchant account processor, and somebody can give in their credit card and buy it. It's not that stable. And so what we've noticed is a lot of these customers in these difficult markets, they'd go in and then they'd go to a nail salon, hair salon, or any other corporate websites as well. And they'd say, hey, look, we have the system where you just have to, you know, and I'm going to demo it right now, how it's going to appear and so on. You have a 3D avatar, or even your own. For example, you have a green screen video, you can put it out there, and then we can make them go through appointments and so on, right? And a lot of these markets are very skeptical, right? I mean, they're not really that familiar with, okay, you know, I'm going to help my business out. When they see something like, this guy is a salesman or saleswoman, I don't want to deal with this, I'm happy with where I am. So we've seen incredible effect there in the toughest markets, where people will go in and they'll say, okay, this is the demonstration, how it's going to improve. If you just get one extra sale than what you're getting, forget about 1 a day, 10 a day, or 100, just one, it's going to be worth it for your business, right? And would you pay for it if you can get one extra sale? So a lot of these folks would go in and say, just put it on your website, have it run, let's see, for a couple of days, you will know it, and you can track how much information that you're getting and how many leads you're generating and so on. And every business, who would say no to something where you just put it out there? And since it's web-based, you can control. You want to disable it, it gets disabled automatically. So if that client says, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't get any results, I don't want it anymore, it's okay, you can disable it, that's not a problem. But a lot of these businesses, even if this gets one sale, which is not hard, like I said, because for somebody to enter an email address, for somebody to get a phone number or book an appointment, it's not that much of an effort for them. They don't have to go through a form and fill up 100 different things, right? They're used to already text messaging with their friends. They're used to already doing all this stuff on a regular basis, so they do it anyway. And so some of our most, and some of the most customers are from hard to reach countries, and because of that, it's much easier to do it from the US, Canada, UK, and so on.
Right. And it's also, you know, like you were saying, they're used to chatting, but it's also because they're already in that chatbot area. They're already typing their name, or they're already responding to questions saying, yes, I'd like a coupon. So to have them type their email address, it's not a stretch. They're not even thinking about it.
Yeah, it's that commitment and consistency, right? They committed to that, where they gave their name. Now to give an email is not that difficult.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So you said you were going to show us
Yeah, the analytics I wanted to show you. So one important thing I want to show you is we can actually go into any campaign once it's done, and we can edit it, right? So if you wanted to edit this campaign, change things a little bit more, you made a mistake and so on, you can go back and edit it all over again, or you can even clone it, right? The cloning feature is useful where you don't want to build the whole thing again. Let's say you're going into one market segment, right? Let's say you're only dealing with e-commerce websites of your own or other clients, or you're only dealing with a dentist website or whatever it is, one niche. Then you can only duplicate it, change the branding over to theirs, put their logo, and it only takes you 30 seconds rather than spending maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes thinking about how to position it, right? So that's the cloning feature, which is really powerful. And then on top of that as well, as I said, you have the analytics feature. The beauty with the analytics feature as well is that it collects a lot of information. I just created it right now, so obviously it doesn't have any data, but generally what would happen is you have the overview. You have day of the week they've visited, how many visitors you're getting, time of the day, what your visits are, and what time would be good, right? And basically, for example, what time are you getting the best conversion? So okay, at 3 p.m. Eastern, a lot of the people are actually coming in and actually interacting. So then you can focus on those time frames. You can also collect how many emails were collected, phone numbers, what country people are visiting from, so you can target those. And there's a lot more customizations as well, that you can do, where, for example, 90% of your visitors are from US, then you can do most of your targeting to the US folks, or whatever country it is in, right? There's another huge benefit here. So that's the thing with analytics. It gives you every information. And like I said, because we integrate with Zapier, you can push all that stuff over. And let's say there's one of the businesses is not in Zapier, or that integration is not there. We also have all this data that we collected. You're going to get it. So you just copy paste it over into maybe a Google Doc or something, and then you can import that over as a CSV or whatever it is into these platforms. Okay. So that's also available as an option for folks. Let's say you're saying your platform is not integrated into the system.
Right.
So yeah, that is basically it. And now the main thing I wanted to mention to a lot of folks when they see something like this, they think it's too complex. And they might think, okay, I've tried chatbots before, it didn't help out that much. Well, the reason why it didn't help out is because a million other people are doing the same thing, and you're not standing out here. You're actually standing out from your competition because you're doing something nobody else out there is doing. And more importantly, since it's such a brand new technology that took us 3 years to develop, it'll take another business 3 more years to crack all these things that we've done, like logo mapping, text to speech, lip syncing, and we have also done all kinds of green screen removal and this analytics, chat automation with all those little branches and so on, right? It's going to take another 3 years. So for that reason, you're going to have a 3-year head start over your competition, and that's just going to get you incredible results. And like I said, if it can just get one sale, let's say it just improves by just one sale, it's going to more than pay for itself. And more importantly, you have now a result that you can go in and do consulting, agency work for other businesses as well, because now you have an experience. And the beauty is we have all the templates already pre-built across all these businesses. So you don't even need to think, okay, what businesses would this be useful? Of course, it'll be useful for every business, but let's say you don't know what businesses are really good to go in. We already have some templates within the app where you can go in and build appointment booking campaigns. You can go into e-commerce campaigns, or dentists, chiropractors, or restaurants. For example, a restaurant is not the same as a dentist, right? A restaurant is more concerned about, table reservations. It's not about booking appointments. It's about table reservations. Right. So it's more customized for table reservations. How many people are coming in? When is the time you want to reserve the table? Stuff like that. It's more customized for those businesses. And that's super powerful as well. And for example, we have avatars who are chefs, right? And a chef avatar would solve that because it's more customized towards that particular campaign. So if I go to a new campaign, I'll show you that right now. So if you go in, a lot of these avatars are available here, right? And as you can see here, now if you go in specific, let's say you want to go niche avatars and you're doing it for a restaurant, right? You can go in and get these chefs right here. We have a lady chef, female, and then we have a male chef right here as well for a restaurant. So it's more targeted, right, for that industry. So yeah, that is the thing. So in terms of the value that you're getting, as I said, just one sale will more than pay for itself. And so that is the Chatterpal in its entirety. Of course, it took me so little time to go through it. So only the simplicity fooled you. It's made to be simple. It takes a long time to develop something that is so simple to use. It's much harder to develop an app that is simple to use than an app which is complex to use. So that's how simple it is. So you've seen it visually, how impactful it is.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very easy to use. I mean, it's, a few steps and you've got it done. I especially like the templates that you have to make it like putting together a flow instant for a number of different purposes, for webinars, for reservations, for all of those different things. So you've done a really good job at making it very simple to use. So I understand that you're launching on February 28th. Now, what time is the launch at?
So we are planning on 3 p.m. Eastern, which is New York time.
Okay.
So that's the time works out perfectly because that's a little bit later for the folks, not too late for the folks in Europe and so on. So we're doing that. And
Okay.
the way we are presenting it is the price is going to raise every few hours. Okay, we want to reward folks who take action faster. And because of our existing people who already shown demand and so on, I know for a fact that it makes most sense to do that, because I know a lot of people will say, hey, Paul, I bought it in the very first minute it went live because I'm excited about it. So we want to reward those folks as well who took action very quickly. And
Right.
so that is the plan there.
Okay. All right. And when does the launch end?
So we are planning it for 7 days, and by the 7th day, the price would have already gone up by at least 3 times, I'm thinking, from what it was when it went live, or at least double by then. And after that, we are planning either to go recurring or completely removing off the market. We're not sure yet. We just want to see, a lot of different factors, but I just want to promise everybody that if you get in during that launch week, you're going to get everything that I've shown you. There are not going to be any compromises. There are not going to be any shortcuts, like I said. And we've been in business for over 10 years, so you don't have to worry about this going away, because I understand, when you're trying to embed these in websites and you have a big ticket client out there, you want stability and so on. You want it to last for 5 years, 3 years, and so on. So we've built apps which have been, for the last 10 years, they've been running just fine. So I want to give you reassurance of that fact, because I understand a lot of people think it's one-time payment. How can Paul do this? Well, the reason why we can do this is because we've been there for 10 years now. So then what happens is if we lose some money here and there, it's going to more than make up for the fact that a lot of our customers are getting results and they're going to buy more of our stuff later on and so on. And I'm going to mention a couple of our upgrades as well. So they might buy one of the upgrades as well when they get results with the main app as well. So that's the beauty of having this. And we mapped it out. So I don't really care if we lose some money here and there, obviously, because as I said, just the avatars alone each cost $2,000 to create, not including the app. The app alone costs close to $80,000 to develop, not including the avatars and so on. So that is the reason why I want you to understand we're not going anywhere. You're gonna have value there, and so you don't worry about it, even if it's one time.
And also after the launch, you're going to a recurring fee rather than just a one-time fee. So that's totally a sustainable business.
Yeah, right? And so even if we raise our prices to a substantial amount and so on, right? As I said, we have other businesses as well and so on. We have 50,000 customers we've served over the last 3 years. So it's going to balance itself out. We lose it here, we make it back there with some of our other products. It's all great. It's balanced, and it's worked out perfectly as well the last 10 years. So I'm okay with it, because my thought process is, if I create limitations in an app, it's going to cause limitations in the mind of the person who's buying it as well, right? Justify if that limitation was not there, meaning let's say text to speech was limited to only 10, for example. Okay, because if it was unlimited, I could have gotten unlimited results. Well, that's right, it's unlimited, so you have your endless amount of possibilities and how you can grow it, right? And if you're serious about your business and so on. So that's why there's no limitation on how many websites you can build them on, and there's no limitation. You get the commercial license, meaning you can put these on agency websites as an agency for offline businesses, e-commerce businesses. There's no limitations on that, right? And the beauty is, like I said, I know for a fact when you put it on, and think about it logically, you put it up on, let's say, 50 websites. Don't you think you'll get one sale from those 50 websites that's going to more than make up for this investment that you're putting in? That's all you need to think about. And that's how I want you to approach it.
Right. So pay for itself, basically. So great. For our viewers, okay, guys, seriously, you just heard the man. You've seen this thing. Getting in early is beneficial for sure. Okay. So make sure that you've signed up to our list. If you found this on YouTube, sign up on our list. And if you're not already on our bonus list, because we've got some crazy valuable bonuses for free when you buy Chatterpal through our link. So sign up for the Chatterpal bonuses list at conversionfreaks.com/chat bonus. That's conversionfreaks.com/chatbonus. And make sure you keep an eye out for emails for the pre-launch specials and the early bird notices. We may even have a discount on the product itself. So I thank you so much, Paul, for taking the time. I know we went way over, but you gave a ton of information, a ton of value, and I think this is going to try to change people's mindsets from paying a bunch of money to drive traffic to better utilizing the traffic that you're already getting and maybe already paying for, and keeping more of those people on your site so that you can convert them. And that's the key. That's always the key, is engagement. Okay, folks, this thing is launching on February 28th, 2019 at 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, you want to do two things. One, make sure that you register for our launch day bonuses at conversionfreaks.com/chatbonus. Now, you can see that at the top and the bottom of this video. Now, when you register for the bonuses via that link, and this is important, folks, once you register on conversionfreaks.com/chatbonus, you'll be taken to a thank you page, and on that page there'll be a launch webinar registration link. We will also email you the webinar registration link, and this webinar for sure you don't want to miss, because during that call the details for the early bird special discounted pricing will be given out. And two, watch for our special emails once you register. We've got some exciting bonuses and surprises starting soon.